Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard, everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. This is live stream number 1058. If you're not overly familiar with the show, let me point out, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news, and then I will normally pontificate about a subject related to our hobby, which will be the case tonight. In fact, I'm going to kind of muse about why fantasy role-playing games happen to be the most popular genre of role-playing games. I think you might be surprised by some of my thoughts. Never know. Maybe not. Maybe you'll be like, you fool! I don't know. Anyway, like I said, super casual, just having fun. We are certainly not engaged in any sort of mental heavy lifting by any stretch of the imagination. Now, of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Lastly, because this is a live stream, that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least an hour before you can take part in chat. Yet another way I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe get a question, a comment, by all means, chime in, and I will do my best to respond. First out of the gate tonight is our good friend of the show, the Madman. That's right, the Madman is with us, as is Semper Buffo, Kevin King, Kathy Evans, Pete Draculich, Matthew Blackwell, Roger Perdome, The Badger, Tony Urquides, James Venabush, Tesco Love, Lenny Blade, and let's see, who else? Kevin R. Smith is popping on in, and Chris Lundgren. So there we have it. So Chris Lundgren says that his daughter gave birth to a 6-pound, 4-ounce bouncing baby boy. Well, congratulations to you and the family. Very nice. Very cool. So good to see you once again, Chris. So it looks like we've got quite a few people in chat right off the bat. We've got Vorpal Bite. Dengar the Mighty is also with us. I believe Vorpal Bite might be a first-time visitor in chat with us, so make yourself at home. So Vorpal Bite says, where is the bay that you keep all those people? I'm not sure what that references. So, no. Shanbot V42 is popping on in. So very cool, very nice. Lots of folks hanging out tonight. So tonight's topic, as I mentioned, I will be pontificating about why I think fantasy is the most popular genre of role-playing games. And strangely enough, you wouldn't think it would. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. Share your thoughts when we get to that point in the show. So don't start tossing things out now when I get into the news, because I will certainly miss it and not actually be able to comment about it. So speaking of the news, let's dive on in, because now available in print and PDF over at Exalted Funeral is the Sunrise Limited. Here's what I know. On October 25th, 1876, strangely enough, October 25th is my mom's birthday, not 1876, obviously enough, but the 25th, which is actually the day after my birthday. Yes, if you followed the Gaming Gang, you know that I was the worst birthday present my mom ever received, and she could not return it either. Anyway, on October 25th, 1876, a gang of thieves boarded the Sunrise Limited, an ill-fated train line traveling from Wyoming to California. They masqueraded as an English lord's security detail while secretly plotting to relieve him of his gold. You play as one of the unfortunate lot hired by Sheriff John Bertram, a lawman by day and criminal mastermind by night, in a death-defying train heist role-playing game. Can you survive from dusk till dawn aboard the Sunrise Limited? I think we kind of get the theme here, right? I think we're sort of getting the underlying theme, although it's not spelt out in the self-sheet information, which I find kind of interesting. Step into the dusty and dangerous world of the Wild West with the Sunrise Limited, a thrilling book filled with adventure and excitement. Follow a fearless band of outlaws as they roam the rugged terrain of the Old West, taking on challenges and facing danger at every turn. This scene is not just a thrilling ride, it's also a love letter to the classic spaghetti westerns of the 1960s and 70s. So grab your revolver, put on your cowboy hat, and get ready for a wild adventure with the Sunrise Limited. Played using the 3-2-1 action role-playing game rule set. This adventure includes quick draw rules for 3-2-1 action, 7 playable characters, and 13 creatures and NPCs, as well as the adventure, obviously enough. The 80-page A5-sized hardcover can be had over at Exalted Funeral for an MSRP of $35. No indication on that if it includes a PDF, so it might not. But if you want to grab just the PDF, you can do so over at Drive-Thru RPG for $10. So this looks to be a mashup of horror and Western. Wait till we get back around to the cover, because the cover is the giveaway. There we go. There is the Nosferatu-styled vampire in the shadows that kind of fades into a mesa almost. Very interesting. And there's some clues here, such as, will your characters survive from dusk till dawn? The name of the train is the Sunrise Limited. This could be really cool. I am not familiar with the 3-2-1 action role-playing game rules, but they are pay what you want over at Drive-Thru RPG. So, of course, knowing it's pay what you want, publishers understand that many people are going to pay $0. But if you want to check it out, get an idea. I think off the top of my head, I think the free rules are around 52 pages, somewhere around there. Verbal Bite says the best thing about role-playing in the Wild West, everybody knows how to play cowboys and Indians. Yeah, pretty easy. Cracks the Bold is with us. Says, Westerns are okay. My players always want to be bounty hunters, just like every space game we try. Purple Bite says they thought that was Batman. No, it's very different cowl. There you can see. Chris Leitner says, will you put this in the links? Very interested in it. I will have a news piece on thegaminggang.com tomorrow morning. You can definitely check it out. So there you have it. There will be a link to Exalted Funeral, but I don't link to the individual products. That's why you get news pieces over on thegaminggang.com. Moving right along, the role-playing game toolbox, Seas of Sand, is now available. And I've got the skinny from The Goat's Head and Space Penguin Inc. By day, the sands are liquid. People sink and ships sail. By night, the sands are solid. People can walk and ships are stuck. Different sands have different definitions of solid and liquid, but this basic principle holds. If you're caught out on the sands at dawn without a ship, only prayer will save you. Welcome to the seas. Seas of Sand is a toolbox setting guide for old school role-playing games about a vast desert ocean of liquid sand. By day, the sand is liquid and the ships sail across them. Well, as mentioned, people sink. By night, the sand is solid and ships freeze while people can walk free. Map the seas with 7 sands, build its many wondrous cities, determine trade routes and pirate havens, then turn the crew loose and see what adventure lies along the way. Seas of Sand can function as its own standalone setting for a complete campaign, or you can slot a sand ocean into a larger map just as easily. This book contains procedures and content for building and populating a map of the seas and its cities. Details on each of these 7 sands and how they behave, along with percentile dice encounter tables for each, lightweight, easily modified rules for sand ships, trading, piracy, smuggling, and recruiting crew. There are 36 fauna, 20 flora, and 20 phenomena unique to the seas. Dozens of tables of trade goods, ships, NPCs, messages in a bottle, and more, as well as percentile dice revelations, world-altering mystical truths triggered through prayer, visions, and sacred drugs. The worm, it rises from the sands to consume you. Praise be. Also included are digital files for a 2-sided 24-inch by 36-inch map containing 2 possible versions of the seas and a 24-inch by 36-inch poster with art and apocrypha of the worm. The 264-page hardcover is available now, carries an MSRP of $60. You can grab it from Space Penguin Inc. Or if you want to just grab the PDF alone, you can do so over at Drive-Thru RPG for $25. Gotta say, this looks very interesting. That's why I'm sharing it. You tend to notice when I'm sharing news pieces, it's because something's caught my eye. It's not because I feel like I have any obligation to share it. But this looks pretty impressive, and it doesn't come across as just being some sort of knockoff on Dune either. So very nice. Sean O'Donnell and Kabuki Kid are with us in chat. Double K's in the house. And so is Russell Higgins. Good to see everybody. Moving right along, June brings the Britannia source book for Lex Arcana. I've got the latest from Acheron Books. This official setting module for Lex Arcana explores the mysterious and cryptic province of Britannia. Britannia is a fierce land of warrior people, illusions, and inexplicable magic. The only province where Rome was forced to build a vellum to protect its borders. Here, the cohorts Arcana will face primordial forces, blood rites, and otherworldly powers whose nature the Empire yet ignores. Britannia contains details on all regions, main cities, and prominent individuals from the shores of the Oceanus Britannicus to the sacred border of Hadrian's Vellum, Hadrian's Wall, and further north still to the icy lands of the Caledony at the world's edge. Countless tips for playing adventures involving the island's many magical traditions, horrid druidic blood rituals, ancient warrior societies, the mysteries lying beyond the vellum, and even unfamiliar divinities. Tens of tables and sidebars with artifacts, encounters, and other dangers to enrich game sessions. There are new rules, specializations, weapons, equipment, and magic artifacts. New enemies, monsters, indigementia, and rituals. There are 3 thrilling adventures that will plunge the custodes into the complex web of local politics, force them to face the perils of the icy northern seas, and place them at the center of a surprising version of the Arthurian legend. Are you ready to face Britannia's grim mysteries and illusions? The 246-page hardcover is going to carry an MSRP of $45 when it lands on our shores in June. You can currently grab the PDF alone over at Drive-Thru RPG right now for $16. Sweet. I have pointed out in the past, I like the setting for Lex Arcana. I think it is very cool. It is very unique. It's not just your kind of typical Roman Empire fighting mythos monsters, and that's no knock on the Cohors Cthulhu, which is coming out from Modifius Entertainment pretty shortly. But the only thing holding it back is I find the system to be pretty obtuse. Unfortunately, a little obtuse. It is not the easiest to wrap your head around. And I got to be honest, if this was built for, say, basic role-playing, boy, this would be just like a must-own, all of it, because it is really well written, very interesting. It's just the core mechanics of the rule set kind of wonky. Character creation's funky. Got to be honest. But we've got loads of new content for Lex Arcana coming very soon, because I know, I think it was this past month, if I remember correctly, the 3 Rome books were funded on Kickstarter. So pretty sweet. Flaming Heron is joining us. So I will also take a guess that one of our chat moderators, the lovely and talented Miss Sarah D, might be floating around in the shadows as well. So we might have all 3 of our chat moderators hanging out with us. Chuck Terrell is also with us tonight. Kevin R. Smith says, I think the big problem with Lex Arcana's system is that you have to be good at dice probabilities to figure out which dice you should roll. I am right with Kevin on that. I think that is one of the biggest aspects of the game system, where maybe newcomers to role-playing games might be turned off by it, because, yeah, you got to check it out. I was going to start getting into some detail about it, but there is a quick start out there, if I remember correctly, that's absolutely free. You can check that out. Flaming Heron says, definitely a good setting, though. Very nice. Game Cat is also popping on in. Sarah D says, of course, I'm always in the shadows. Just follow the trail of glitter from her hammer. That's right. She has the glittery bam hammer there. On our next news piece, Goodman Games is going to be releasing the print edition of Dungeon Crawl Classics, Monsters and Magic of Dark Tower. It's coming at the end of this month. The volume brings plenty of new creatures and spells inspired by the recently revised edition of the classic Janelle Jacquet's tale, ported over Dungeon Crawl Classics. And yes, Dark Tower is available for Dungeon Crawl Classics, and 5e. But you don't have to buy the huge volume to get the monsters and new spells. That's what this book is all about. Goodman Games is proud to present Monsters and Magic of Dark Tower for the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game. This collection of new monsters, magic items, and spells is suitable for any Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game campaign and draws inspiration from the classic adventure Dark Tower by Janelle Jacques. Monsters and Magic of Dark Tower contains nearly 20 new monsters, 6 new spells, and 14 magic items. You'll also find complete descriptions of the gods Mitra and Set for use in your DCC campaigns. Dark Tower isn't required to use a supplement, but it will allow judges to utilize Monsters and Magic of Dark Tower to its greatest effect. Although the reality is, I would think if you already have Dark Tower, I don't think you need this, because I think you would already have those monsters and spells and so forth. I could be wrong. The 34-page softcover with PDF is going to carry an MSRP of $9.99. You can grab the PDF right now by itself over at DriveThruRPG for $7.99. Yes. Chris Lundgren's pointing out that they love Dungeon Crawl Classics. Kabuki Kid is also pointing out that Caverns of Thracia is going to be coming from Goodman Games. Yes. I have not shared news of it because we don't have any concrete info yet. Plus, it's going to be a Kickstarter. I don't like to share news about Kickstarters until they launch, because that way, if you are interested, when you see the news piece or you watch the show, you can go over and pledge your support as opposed to sitting there saying, well, you know, I'll have to remember that's starting in 3 weeks. Kabuki Kid says, I remember there were one of those green-covered historical setting books for second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons that covered the Roman era. And also Dark Tower was sort of the original mega dungeon. Is that considered the original mega dungeon, or is it Caverns of Thracia? I didn't know. I think maybe it was Caverns of Thracia is where that term that Janelle Jacques did not like associated with her, which is, so I won't say it, where that came about. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, is Caverns of Thracia. If I remember correctly, isn't there like one of the like big bads is a minotaur in the caverns? I might be wrong. The Badger says, I think I'm going to need a bigger bookshelf. At least you don't need a bigger boat. Kabuki Kid says, Dark Tower is much bigger than Caverns of Thracia, but both are healthy. If I remember correctly, I don't remember what company it was, but I thought back in the day, there was an update or a revised Caverns of Thracia, because that was originally Judges Guild, if memory serves. So was Dark Tower. And I think it was 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons got like a revamp of Caverns of Thracia. Never checked it out, really. I remember taking a peek at it. Was either Dark Tower or Caverns of Thracia way, way back in the day when they were first out. It was one of them I got to take a peek at from Judges Guild. And that was where I really realized that the paper stock was pretty poor for Judges Guild stuff. One of my friends had picked it up, and that's how I had taken a peek at it. All right. Well, moving right along. There's a new bit of free downloadable content for the Cyberpunk Red role-playing game. And I've got the skinny from our Talsorian Games about mixing drinks, changing lives. Cyberpunk Red crosses over with the indie darling video game in this beautiful DLC that dares to ask the question, what if the bar Valhalla existed in Night City? Well, not canon to either the Cyberpunk or Valhalla universes, this DLC gives you what you need to make the video game bar canon to your Cyberpunk game, including biographies and stat blocks for Dana Zane, Dorothy Hayes, Jill Stingray, and more. 9 new pieces of gear and cyberware inspired by Valhalla and ready to plug into your Cyberpunk Red campaign. A full dictionary with the ingredients for every drink in Valhalla, plus a new one for classic Cyberpunk Smash. And best of all, this is all free. Download and enjoy courtesy of our Talsorian Games and Goodman Games. And it's now safe to keep playing. The 20-page PDF, once again, is absolutely free. And you can get that over at Drive-Thru RPG. Very nice. Always cool to see new Cyberpunk Red content come out there. And I thought it was kind of interesting that they are kind of pulling in the video game Valhalla, which is not spelled that way. So that has been around for a while, Valhalla, and it's super, super popular as far as video games go. Tesco Love says, that's a cool crossover. Valhalla is a well-written game. Yeah, isn't Valhalla more kind of like a visual novel sort of game? I could be wrong. I have not played it. I have not checked it out. So, Kabuka Kid says, Judges Guild was great for the nice, thick, big textured maps, but their books were almost newsprint crappy. Yeah, sort of. They were kind of pulpy. So, Chuck Terrell says they bought Hyperborea after seeing the Gaming Gang shows, and they said their brother is running Dungeon Crawl Classics. We can't be the only ones going back to the oldies. Is it making a return? OSR's been a thing for quite some time now. And funny enough, Dungeon Crawl Classics is not considered old school Renaissance or old school revival, whatever you want to say, for a lot of people. Hyperborea is. Hyperborea is considered to be an OSR role-playing game. And Jack Hanks and Seamus Todd are joining us in chat. All right, that is it for the news this evening. Of course, I was just talking about Drive-Thru RPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, Drive-Thru RPG, Storyteller's Vault, Dungeon Masters Guild, Wargame Vault, what have you, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Use one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like the video, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always stop on by paypal.me/thegaminggang and make a small donation. Hell, you can buy me a 2-liter bottle of soda. Refreshing. And big thank you to those out there who stop by paypal.me/thegaminggang and make not so small donations. As a matter of fact, Agile Monk just recently popped on by and made a very generous donation. So thank you, all of you out there, regardless if you're using the banner ads and or stopping by paypal.me/thegaminggang. Much appreciated. And Stephen from Roll for Combat has popped on in. Said they've added all their stuff to Drive-Thru, so now I could use links to buy their products there just for me. Oh, how swell. Anyway, I should ask, how come I didn't see Roll for Combat like repost my review that I recently shared, my review video? I was kind of surprised. All right. So people are saying that YouTube just died and the video froze. And it is looking like, yeah, it's looking like suddenly we are having some issues here. So let me go in. So every once in a while, if I change the number of frames, it will kind of shake things loose on occasion. But I don't know. But yeah, it looks like we did drop a bunch. And it does look like it might still be going on. Now, when this happens, this is usually a YouTube thing. Sorry to say. But yeah, it looks like, yeah, it looks as if we're kind of having some issues here. Because I am looking and it's showing like it's nothing being uploaded. All right, hold on. I hate having to do this, but let's take a look here. I know this is such great content. So I'm going to take a look to see if I'm dropping packets on this side. Because this is usually a great indicator if it's on my end or if it is on YouTube's end. Yeah, it is us. Yeah, it is going on here. And it could be because of the weather. That I think might be the reality here. Yeah, so yeah, it's showing about 10% of the frames have dropped. And this just recently started taking place. So it looks like the video has stopped. All right, I'm going to try another thing here. I'm going to try to bring this down fairly low as far as our kilobits per second. All right, so I keep seeing chat. And it is just jumping up and down. Yep. Okay, so Sean O'Donnell says they've still got me. So supposedly chat is still running. James Venbush says everything died. They had to reopen the feed. So I will do that as well, which I never like doing, but yeah, these things happen. Thankfully, it doesn't happen too often. Matthew Constantine's with us says, yeah, they're getting clear sound. Video is iffy. Right, so I'm going to take a peek here. Okay, yes, I'm getting the ad, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, well, it is showing video. So I don't know. I have no idea. It looks like it is very choppy, though. But, of course, that is also probably because I just opened up a video there of the stream. So, yeah, it could be our weather. That is a very, very large possibility here. Well, I'll tell you what. I am not seeing how I'm going to get around this. So, unfortunately, it appears we are not going to have an opportunity to get into our topic this evening. So tonight's show looks like it is only going to be the news pieces. Sorry about that. I did see in chat that Steven said, oh, well, they shared the video in their newsletter. Thank you. I don't happen to get your newsletters. I didn't know. Matthew says, hey, the video started to look good. Then they got another ad. Cracks the Bolt says it's an attack from big role-playing games. There you go. It's Wizards of the Coast. Jumping all over. All right. So, hold on. I'm just checking to see if we jump back up with a bunch of drop frames. See, what I don't like is it's kind of jumping up and down, up and down, up and down as far as our kilobits per second, which is usually not a good sign. So yes, everything's working now, and Kabuki Kid says, just as he resigned to end the show. Now, I think it looks like we're doing all right now. Man, that just sucks that we have all of that right after the news. Or maybe right as the news was ending, it just seemed to have gotten really wonky. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got to be honest. I really don't want to risk it again. I don't want to start getting into this topic and then all of a sudden the internet goes to crap. So we are already at almost 40 minutes for this show anyway. So sadly, Flaming Hero says YouTube didn't like the news. So Matthew Blackwell says it's all cleared up. Shanbot V42 says they have some nasty weather there, and YouTube decided to bump them to another video. And people are saying that the video's gone again. All right, everybody. So we will pick up the topic tomorrow. Yes, chat jinxed it. Nah, it's just the weather. It's, who knows? Somewhere along the line here, we're seeing some issues with internet. It may not even be right here in the Yorkville area. It might be somewhere along the line. Anyway, tomorrow I will pick this up with the topic that, Hector Strafford's with us saying that, they're getting video issues too. Can't win them all. All right. Anyway, if you were watching live, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. If you watched live and took part in chat, big tip of the cap, because not only are you keeping me company, you're keeping each other company as well. Now, of course, I know a lot of folks out there, they don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you very much for taking time out to watch any of the videos here on the channel. And there have been a lot of new videos as of recently as well. So check those out. Of course, if you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch hopefully streams live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube, but it'll also inform you when I share other videos, such as tomorrow's first look at A Jest of Robin Hood from GMT Games. Yes, I dive on in and take a peek. Very nice. Very nice. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow we will talk about, well, as long as the internet doesn't explode, why I feel fantasy role-playing games happen to be the most popular genre of role-playing games. Fingers crossed we'll get to that. And, of course, the latest tabletop gaming news as well. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. And I'm Jeff McAleer. Till I see you next time, always hope you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.